All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're talking about a force that's completely reshaping our world, how we buy, sell, and connect across the entire planet. But here's the thing, most of the time, it's completely invisible. I want you to just think for a second about the last time you ordered something from another country. Maybe it was a cool t-shirt, a book, some specialty gadget you couldn't find anywhere else. You find it online, you click buy, and then, like magic, a few days later, there it is. But have you ever really stopped to think about the incredible, almost miraculous chain of events that has to happen perfectly for that box to land on your doorstep? Well, that's what we're doing today. We are pulling back the curtain and popping the hood on that invisible engine that makes it all possible: technology.
Okay, so to really get just how big of a deal this is, we've got to take a quick look back at how things used to be.
I mean, just look at the difference here. Not that long ago, doing business across borders was a slow, painful process. We're talking dusty ledgers, waiting weeks for a letter to cross an ocean, and huge costs that basically locked out anyone but the biggest players. Now, look at the other side. It's a whole new world. Automated, instant, global. The barriers to entry have just crumbled. The shift is, frankly, staggering. And because of that massive shift, technology isn't just a nice-to-have tool anymore. It has become absolutely 100% essential. And what does that mean, really, on a day-to-day basis? It means tech has become the central nervous system of any global company. It's what automates your cash flow and inventory so you don't have to. It's what lets you talk to customers and partners anywhere, anytime. It builds a digital fortress around your data. It even lets you do deep market research on a country halfway around the world without ever leaving your desk. And this quote here really just nails it. It's not just about doing the same old things a little bit faster. It's about doing things that were basically impossible before. Tech didn't just tweak the rules of business, it fundamentally rewired the entire game. So let's get into the nitty-gritty. What are the specific technologies that are the real stars of the show right now? The ones that are true game changers? First up, the big one: artificial intelligence and machine learning. You hear these terms thrown around all the time, but simply put, it's all about creating computer systems that can learn from data and solve problems on their own, almost like a human would. But where it gets really interesting is how it's being used. And check this out, because it shows AI's power goes way beyond just making a profit. Google's Global Fishing Watch. It uses machine learning to sift through massive amounts of data to track ships and help authorities pinpoint illegal fishing operations. So AI is literally making global trade more sustainable. How amazing is that? Okay, next up, blockchain. And I know, when you hear blockchain, you probably think of crypto, but its potential for trade is just enormous. The easiest way to wrap your head around it is to think of it like a digital receipt book, but one that's shared and copied across thousands of computers. That makes it incredibly secure. It's practically impossible to hack or cheat the system. And here is a perfect real-world example of its power. Getting something called a letter of credit, which is a key part of financing trade, used to be this bureaucratic nightmare that could take up to a month. A whole month. With blockchain, that entire tedious process gets crushed down to just a few hours. That isn't just an improvement. That's a full-on revolution in efficiency. So where is all this tech being focused? This chart gives us a great snapshot. It's no surprise that logistics and payments are leading the pack. That's exactly what we just saw with the shipping trackers and the blockchain finance. But look closer. Every single part of a business is being transformed. Nothing is untouched. And of course, it's not just the flashy, cutting-edge stuff. The entire system is built on a whole ecosystem of tools working together. You've got e-commerce platforms giving tiny businesses a global storefront. You've got 5G networks for lightning-fast communication. You've even got the simple genius of the standardized shipping container, an oldie but a goodie. And then the cloud, which lets a team scattered across the world work like they're in the same room. It all has to work together. So we've seen the tools. We've seen the tech. But let's zoom out. What does all of this add up to? What's the actual real-world impact on businesses trying to make their way in this global marketplace? I love this chart because it lays it out so clearly. For basically every traditional headache in global business, tech offers a powerful painkiller. You can't offer 24/7 customer support across time zones? AI chatbots have your back. Worried about a shipment getting lost in transit? You've got real-time tracking. International payments are slow and complex? Not with digital platforms. You see the pattern, right? For every problem, there's a tech solution. And the impact goes so much deeper than just big corporations. Look at this number. Between 2011 and 2014, the number of people with bank accounts in emerging economies shot up by 20%. A huge part of that was the explosion of mobile money services. That's not just a number on a screen. That represents millions and millions of new entrepreneurs and new customers plugging into the global economy for the very first time. So you can see why some experts say technology has basically become the soul of the global business environment. It's the great equalizer. It lets businesses slash their costs, boost their productivity, and connect with a customer on the other side of the planet, all from pretty much anywhere on Earth. But this story is far from over. This invisible engine is constantly being upgraded, constantly evolving. So let's finish by taking a quick peek at what might be just around the corner. Get ready to hear this phrase a lot more. Hyper-automation. You can think of it as automation on steroids. It's when you take all these cool tools, AI, machine learning, robotics, and combine them. The goal isn't just to have a system that performs a task you give it, but to create a system that can make its own decisions. It's automation that thinks. And then there's this one, 3D printing. This is so fascinating because it could actually flip the whole script on global trade. There are some serious studies predicting that as this tech gets better and cheaper, we'll just start printing more and more things locally. And if you can make it at home, you don't need to ship it. That could radically reduce global trade as we know it. Which leaves us with one final, really big question to chew on. For centuries, global trade has meant moving physical stuff from where it's made to where it's needed. But what happens in a future where technology makes it possible to produce almost anything almost anywhere? What does global trade even mean then? What will we be trading? Ideas? Digital blueprints? Data? It's something to think about. Thanks for joining me.